Hello. Okay, so it doesn't matter what zodiac sign you are. This message is for the brokenhearted. And more specifically, this reading is geared toward people who have been stuck in a vicious cycle of repetitive emotional abuse, physical abuse, people who are frustrated and they're ready for something new, but they don't know how to release the old energy in order for them to receive new. So the first card, well, this is not the first card, but I'm going to make this the first card. So the first card is release your ex, okay? So it says the time has come to clear your energy. Um for some of you, I would just say in order for you to clear your energy, there's this powerful saying that where your focus goes, your energy grows. So, the first thing, in order for you to cut this energy loose, be careful with the readings. Be very, very careful, be very intentional when you view multiple readings on YouTube, okay? Um, Also, with deception, you could have been deceived by an ex, someone who could have been using a false mask. So, the thing with that is, it's like the honeymoon phase, right? That famous phase that everybody likes is when things are new, they feel fun, they feel exciting. But even in those moments of the honeymoon stage, there is always red flags that you need to pay attention to. So here we go. Pay attention to the red flags. It's important for you to date intentionally. It's like make sure that you look out for these red flags and but boundaries. Use your boundaries. Use your self-discipline when you see these red flags in order for you to run. You want to run before you invest emotionally. Once you start to get your emotions wrapped up, then you get tied in, baby. And it gets so hard. It gets way more hard to free yourself when your emotions are tied into an ex, okay? Um, so, unrequited love. Let's go to this. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. A lot of people are on the outside and they're frustrated and they're waiting and they're waiting and they're waiting and they're waiting. And when you're waiting, it builds up the frustration even more. When the real truth is unrequited love, like if they're not investing anymore, if you don't hear from them anymore, it's time for you to cut the cord and release yourself. It takes two to tango. Love is a two-way street, and you need, in order for love to build and grow, it needs to be reciprocated. Um, if you want, and this is all if you want a healthy love, right? Some people, they're used to dysfunctional love, so they could be attracted to this ghosting and silence. Um, but for people who are really, really trying to cut their ties with that cycle, that vicious, horrendous cycle, and they really want to be on a healthy path, I would say once you notice that someone has stopped investing in you, or they only come around at nighttime, or they only text you a month later, and you're like, well, where the heck have you been? And then you allow them to continue to use that same method and come back into your bed and come back in between your legs and come back into your house, and then they flee again, and you're like, look what they did to me. At some point you're going to have to take your power back and say, look really close into yourself and start to ask, what am I doing to me, right? Because I just heard harnessing a lot of pain. Sometimes you can harness a lot of pain, you can feel a lot of emptiness. And in those moments, your flesh might fall weak. And then you will be willing to allow somebody to come back into your life just for a temporary fill, a temporary void. And it's necessary to dig deep to figure out why are you allowing yourself to subject to such treatment. It's a reality that many people don't want to face. That's why they talk about inner work. A lot of people, I've spoke about this on my channel before. A lot of people don't really want to do the inner work, and have to look within, because it can be painful to look within. It's to look at the cycles that you came from. How were you raised? How was your mom? How was your dad? How did they treat you? And how does that align with the cycle that you're in? And most of all, how can you take your power back? We always hear this famous saying, love yourself first, right? And a lot of people say, well, I do love myself. This doesn't make any sense. But loving yourself is not what you say. Loving yourself is what you do, what you tolerate, what you allow, and what you're not putting up with. That is what self-love is. It's about what you're allowing and what you're not allowing into your life, because you know you're worthy of more and you're deserving of more, and you're only going to allow yourself to show up to more. And then that's where we get the codependency. So let me talk about the void. Sometimes people feel an emptiness inside of them. They feel like a deep sense of emptiness. And the codependency is you trying to find someone outside of yourself to validate they love you, by if they're willing to fight with you or if you can win them. This is when we'll see like third party situations come up, and people allowing themselves to be in the third party because they're waiting for validation, they're waiting for recognition, because they feel like that is what will help them recognize their own worth if this person comes and validates me. So yeah, it's a vicious cycle. So there's lots of reasons why do people keep themselves stuck or tied to an ex that no longer is putting in a fight, that is no longer investing in them. Okay, so one thing to be careful with is you're stuck on their potential. So it's the potential of them that you're stuck on, not who they truly are and who they're showing you, but the potential that they have. You can be stuck on their potential. Another thing is stuck on that honeymoon phase. So you can be stuck in that honeymoon phase where everything felt great and it was the beginning stages, which normally lasts is what, 3 to 6 months. I don't even think it lasts 6 months anymore. I think nowadays, because of the internet and because it's easier for men or women to get access to other people, I feel like the honeymoon phase lasts about 3 months now. So you can see, if you pay attention to the red flags, you can see them really, really early on. You can see a person's inconsistent patterns. I feel like within the first 3 weeks. In the first 3 weeks, you can cut a tie before you develop really, really deep emotional feelings for someone. Okay, this is another big one. Romanticizing. When you romanticize about somebody before truly getting to know who they are, whoo, child, you in trouble. You in trouble. So romanticizing, that's sitting in your bed, fantasizing about the end all, be all with the person, seeing them as your husband, seeing them as your wife, seeing yourselves having children. Sometimes people can sit and stay stuck in that fantasy land for so long that it will create an illusion that does not even truly exist. And that is a dangerous place to be. As well as romanticizing, I feel listening to certain tarot card readings that give you that create an illusion of hope that doesn't really exist. And that's why I think it's so important to be in touch with yourself and be in touch with what's really happening. What are they really showing me versus what do you want to see? So that's really big. It's scary when I hear someone say that, oh, I have a twin flame and I've been waiting for 10 years. I've been waiting for 15 years. I get so scared for people like that because what you're doing is you create an illusion and you're sitting around waiting for something that may never happen, and that's scary. Um so being in tune with what's really happening, just understand that it doesn't matter the gender, whether it's a woman or it's a man. I do personal readings for men and for women. And let me tell you, one thing that I know is when somebody truly is about you and when somebody truly loves you, they will invest in you. There are some times when people have been hurt, so it kind of affects the way that they love you, or they sometimes give you this what is it called? There's a name for what I want to say. Oh my god. I had the name, it was in my head and I just lost it. Oh, fight or flight. They give you this fight or flight response. So they come to you, they give you lots of love, and then they run off, and then they come back again, and it's like they're afraid of vulnerability. So there's instances like that, but even that is still toxic, because if they don't come out to you and just tell you, like, let me tell you something. I'm dealing with some trauma from a past relationship. I want to open up to you, but I am truly scared. If they don't share that with you and then you have to guess, that's still toxic. Um I feel like we've all probably been there where we were afraid to be vulnerable and we could have gave somebody the fight or flight type of energy, but it's important for you to voice yourself and let people know. That's what vulnerability is all about. Let people know where you truly are with yourself, because it will create a healthier dynamic for you guys to flow and move forward. Okay? So if they're not openly communicating with you and they're emotionally closed off, that can leave you stuck in pain. Um some people also hold on to their ex because they are addicted to the distraction. When you are too busy wondering what's going on with your ex, or if you guys are going to be together, or what's going on in their life, it distracts you from you. It takes away from you having to invest in yourself. So just be careful of that. Any moments of you wondering about your ex is taking away from you and where you want to be on your journey. So some people, like I said, are addicted to distractions, and that is a distraction. If you stay home all day, because remember, where your focus goes, your energy grows. If you stay home all day and you go from tarot card video to tarot card video to tarot card video to like that's a whole distraction. It's nothing different from if you're on Instagram and you spend the whole day just scrolling all the way through Instagram. It's another distraction from yourself. So just be aware of those signs. um children keep people attached to their ex, so it's like wanting that family. um and the sad thing is, as much as you see it on TV a lot, or you might see it with people around you, where there's the child, the mother, the father. Just because you have a child with somebody, it doesn't mean that they'll be healthy for you or they'll be healthy for your child. So just try to figure out, why are you still holding on to them? Is it for the illusion of what the family, like the whole family dynamic of mother, father, baby? Because if you and your partner stay together and you both are unhappy with each other, or you both are constantly fighting and cussing each other out, okay, you have your family, but you're still showing your child a very unhealthy dynamic. And what they see is what they're going to mimic. They don't mimic what you tell them, they mimic what they see. That's why they say a product of your environment. The child mimics the environment that they were raised in, not what you tell them. So just be aware of that as well. Um, Another thing, no new love yet. So sometimes when it takes a while for new love to show up, it kind of makes you want to hang on and go back to your ex. Well, maybe new love didn't show up yet because I was meant to be back with the person, but once again, reciprocity, if they're not showing up for you the way you're showing up for them, it's an unhealthy match. Um Lack of closure. So this is a big one. Some people, they don't get the closure that they hope for. So if I invested in you, if I took all my finances and I tried to um, impress you, that's what that is. If I pour all my finances into you to be with you, um, even money that I don't have, then it's like I'm trying to use material gains to impress you. And then if you leave me, I feel God. So it's basically like, oh, now give me back what I gave you. And people continue to stay or wait around for people because they want back what they put in. And honestly, it's not ideal for that to happen 90% of the time. So these are reasons of why you can still be um, stuck to an ex. Fatal attraction. You didn't get to know who they are, but then you shared a passionate sexual life with them, and now you're open off of them sexually. So you have hunger for them, and it's unhealthy. And then you stay in an unhealthy dynamic, but at the same time, once again, they're not investing into you, so it makes you mad and it makes you feel as if they're getting over on you. So basically, this reading is just to explain why people could still be attached to their exes and some of the perspectives that people have that keep them in these vicious cycles. And if any of those examples sound like you, I think it's time to do a soul check. So, a soul check is digging in yourself and asking yourself, what I want, is that what I'm getting? Right? Because a lot of times people keep saying, oh, I want new love. Oh, I want new love. But the thing is, your energy is not cleared from your ex. And deep down inside, you're actually still waiting for them. Um, Without you doing the inner work to say, well, why did I attract this person in? What has this lesson taught me? Um, Taking your power back by seeing the lesson in it. Once you free yourself by taking your power back, then you can go on the journey to self-love. You begin to invest in yourself. Instead of using your time to invest in someone else, you begin to invest in you. You get to create a list. What are the things that I've always wanted to do that I haven't done yet? You meet new friends, or you link up with your old friends. You go out, you shower yourself with beautiful things. You buy yourself flowers. You develop healthy rituals. You do meditation. You develop a spiritual practice in order to have daily prayer to heal the hole in your soul or heal the pain that you feel from the loss of the love. This is when you start to indulge in you, and then when you heal that broken part that attracted you to that person, that's when the new door begins to open. You begin to enjoy life. You want to know why? You're not waiting for somebody to come back around to love you. You're not. You're too busy trying to find the peace, the joy, and the happiness back in your life. And then, booyah, that's when the new love shows up. Um, Once again, like, developing healthier habits is the first important thing. The next thing, you want to fill your life with joy and happiness. You want to go out there and be adventurous because you want to bring excitement into your life. You want it when you meet a guy, you can tell him that or you meet a woman that you're This is where I work. This is what I do for fun. You want to sound exciting. You don't want to meet somebody and be in pain, and then you trauma bond, and then you start the vicious cycle all over again with somebody else. Okay? So this is why it's so important when people tell you to heal. This is what you're healing. You're healing the part that needed that person in the first place. So I just wanted to go over some stages of grief. I feel like at the last on the list is acceptance, but I feel like in order for you to be intentional about healing and moving on and finding healthier love, I feel like you have to accept that it's over first. Like, they're not investing in me. They don't be checking for me. Like they're not showing up for me. Um, can I call this person if I'm in need? Can I call them if I need advice? Can I call them if I need help? Can they motivate me? Can they inspire me? And at the same time, you want to be able to give this to somebody too, by the way. So I did say reciprocity. So once you notice that there's no gains from the relationship, besides physical fulfillment, which is only a temporary void, and then you're empty all over again, and then you feel useless and unworthy because the person touches your body, but then they're not around to help nurture or love your soul, right? So once again, accepting it. They're not that person waiting around if they'll change. We don't know. That's why they have mindfulness, to be present, to take each day as it is, because you don't really know. You don't even know if you're gonna be here tomorrow. So whether they change or not, you don't know, and you don't even know if you'll be around to witness it, because life is so short. And I think sometimes as individuals we take life for granted. So accepting that this person does not have the capacity to love me or show up for me in a loving manner. So this is why. Be very intentional about your why. You have to cut the tie. Even if you got to let it burn like Usher, baby. I love to use that. Like, I got to let it burn like Usher. Because it's real. Sometimes you have to detach from all social media, detach from even listening to readings, just so you can truly accept the fact that this person is just not a part of your equation anymore. And then when you get that, hey, big head text, nah, we ain't doing that, baby. No. Boundaries. No. I don't need a part-time lover. If you can't show up for me all the time, then you can't be here no time. When you love yourself and when you're at that level of self-worth, your no is stronger. You're confident in your no because you only showing up for what's consistent, because you're worthy of it and you're deserving of it, and you're not just saying it. You believe it because you live it. So it's important. This is also important. How teachable are you? Because are you doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result? How teachable are you? Are you falling into their manipulative tactics? Are you falling for the game? Are you falling for the runner chaser? Are you falling for, oh, this is a twin flame, I'm supposed to be treated less and treated... I do not support what I've said this on my channel so many times. And to me, I think with the twin thing, I think they mirror the shadow sides of your soul that need to be healed. I hear sleep deprivation. Some of you are suffering from insomnia, waiting for somebody to come back around. Spirit is asking, how teachable are you? Do you love yourself? Do you feel attractive? Do you feel worthy? Do you feel deserving? Do you affirm these things? Do you live by these things? I went off track because I was going through the stages of grief, wasn't I? My bad. So yeah, once again, I feel accepting that this person is not showing up for you the way that you deserve is the first thing. The next stage they say is denial, like confusion, denial, being in fear, avoiding, like not even wanting to think about it. So you might just sit and be in your thoughts and your memory about all the great times, just to kind of take away from what's truly happening. I'm going to say it again. It's so important to be honest with yourself. You can't call another human, they're a liar, but you lie to you. If you want someone to be honest with you, you got to be honest with yourself. So they said denial. So first you're in denial. This is not happening. Oh, they'll come back. Oh, it's just my twin flame. They're supposed to have a third party and abandon me and leave me. And it's like all these excuses for why they're not showing up when there's nothing to it but to do it. The next stage is anger, frustration. Now you're getting mad because time is passing. They're still not showing up. You're feeling lonely. And then you start to blame them for not loving you the way that you should be loving you. So it's anger, frustration. Then it begins to sink in. The next stage is depression. You start to feel heaviness. You literally feel the loss from your heart. Like it feels like your heart has just been ripped out. And that's when the depression sinks in. Like, man, this is when the denial is starting to move away and you're starting to feel the acceptance of it. Like, wow, this is over. The next stage is bargaining, like trying to understand it, trying to figure it out, talking about it with friends, going over it again and again, but I don't understand, but this doesn't make sense. You start to bargain. Then the last place is when you go back to acceptance. And grief, you can go through these stages multiple times when you heal. I feel compassion is so important through your healing, like being compassionate towards yourself and just understanding that you got a big heart and you love really big and you were hoping that things would work out with you and this person, and just being compassionate about it. But once again, being honest, honor all your feelings. There could be a day you wake up, you feel powerful, you feel strong, you're ready to get back there, out there on the market, and then 2 days later, you start to feel the depression again. So I just feel like honor every feeling that comes up, because time heals all wounds, and it's true. With time, you begin to move on. You begin to fill your life with other things that are more fulfilling. People who do recognize your worth, people who do say positive things, people who do fill you. And you will miss the person, and honor even that. It's okay to miss somebody who hurt you. So let's give out some healing cards. And self-forgiveness. So Spirit says, let go of old guilt and remember that you are God's perfect child. Forgive yourself. Okay? Because it's a lesson you're learning. Forgive yourself. And that's another thing I meant to say. Like, forgiveness is so freaking important. As long as you harbor resentment and anger towards somebody, that means it's like you still gave them your power, Then, because you feel these feelings, even if you do attract somebody, they're going to be still hurt and angry over their ex. And then you guys trauma bond, and it's still another unhealthy connection. So this is why it's so important to heal, because whatever you don't heal is what you're still going to attract. So you want to heal yourself. You want to feel good so you can get that back. What else? Ooh, waves of prosperity. So it says new abundance and exciting new opportunities wash over you. So a lot of you, I've been seeing this in a lot of people's readings, even in my, individual readings for people, lots of money. And I feel like this is why I feel like this reading is so important. Like, for you to truly understand where you are in your healing process, for you to truly understand that it's time to move on, because it's a powerful manifestation time. And just know, like, where your mind is right now, you don't want to attract that into the next cycle. So it's so important for you to take charge of your life, take charge of your healing, and step back into your power. And then it says treasure chest. An unforeseen windfall of new abundance comes to you now. So there's something that is unseen that is coming to you, something that is new. And Spirit says, wait. Don't rush into action right now. Bid your time for the best results. So if you're thinking about putting yourself out there right now, Spirit is telling you, wait. Okay? Give yourself some more time to heal. Let me see. See, the angel of balance is coming back. So this is why they're telling you to wait. Wait for you to heal some more. Wait for you to fully get your balance and feel completely good about yourself. And you know what's so dope? It's like you get to recreate your life. You get to, when you're starting all over again, it can be scary, but it doesn't have to be scary. You can use this opportunity to recreate yourself. And it can even, depending on where you are at financially, start investing in what do you want to look like? Are you exercising? Are you eating healthy? Are you, like, how is your hair right now? I mean, anything just to make yourself, like, pamper up yourself and make yourself feel really good, feel beautiful. Because if you don't feel good about yourself, baby, and you trying to go back out there, you're going to attract the way you feel. So once you start to neglect yourself, whoever you attract is going to start to neglect you. But once you start to invest in yourself and you feel like you popping, you feel like you all that, people are going to treat you like that. And then I can go on and on, but I'm not. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It says the goddess of moon. So things are being illuminated. For some of you guys, you could have found out some stuff that kind of made you really angry and pissed. Also with this new moon energy, some of you guys can be sensitive to the moon energies, and you might just feel anger. To channel in anger, dance it off, jog it off, run it off. Don't bottle in your emotions. I always tell people that the healthiest way to heal is to get it out. I'm a big fan of journaling. I love journaling. I know a lot of people, they have to adapt to it, like adjust to having to write out their feelings in a book. If your insurance provides it right now, because we're still, I know it's the second stage, but a lot of things are because of the quarantine. You can get therapy through Zoom now, over the phone. Get whatever help that you need to get through it. Okay. So another thing, the world. You completed a tough, dark cycle. And see, the door to value. I'm telling you, your value is about to go up. For some of you, you could have been in a dark place for a long time and you're sick of it. Let me tell you, sometimes anger is good. Sometimes with anger, you get so sick and tired of being sick and tired that it will force you into this. Like, I'm not doing this no more. I'm not sticking around for shit like this no more. I'm gonna raise my value. I'm tired of this. Sometimes anger fosters change. People be sick and tired of being sick and tired. Then when you start to act all sick and tired of being sick and tired, everybody, why are you acting like that? What do you mean? You done did too much. You done tried it, baby. Why you acting like that? People always want to do that after they piss you off. And worry. So a lot of you can be worrying right now because you have to get out of a cycle. Many of you didn't want to get out this cycle. Um, and you can love people from a distance. I feel like that was the best advice I ever received in my life. I think that advice saved me years ago when someone was like, you know, you can still love them, but just from a distance, right? It's okay to still love somebody, but know they're not good for you. And they literally used that same tone with me when they gave me that advice. And I took it with me. I took it with me forever, you know? Um, yeah. And see, judgment. It's time. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. So just, it's time for you to make a judgment call and move on. Sometimes people, they have their own path, they're going through their own challenges, and this is why they can't show up for you the way that you wish they could. You got to release them, you know. Don't judge them. You don't have to be cruel. Every ending doesn't have to be Freddy Krueger Jason. Every ending does not have to be a horrific story, you know. But honor it. I always tell people, if that level of rage comes to you, honor it, but just don't stay there. Every ending does not have to be Freddy Krueger, Jason, Chucky. Spirit is saying acceptance. I am learning to accept things that I cannot change. You can't change people. That's why that is the reason why you have to go. This is why you have to leave. This is why you can't stay. This is why you can't stay. Because you can't change people, and it's not your job. It's God's job. This is why you leave, because it's not your job to fix people or change people. If you are a conscious woman,